YouTube vinyl community, Beach Boys fans, random people on the internet, my name is Giggens, and we are here today to finally talk about the Beach Boys' Sail On Sailor 1972 box set, collecting Carl and the Passions, Holland, a live album from Carnegie Hall in 1972, and a lot of really cool alternate takes, unreleased stuff, different vocal tracks. This thing is loaded. Sail On Sailor 1972 continues this trend of box sets coming out from the Beach Boys, documenting incredible periods of their career where their artistic growth and their freedom were just through the roof. The band at this time was a full functioning unit. They were friends, they were songwriters or collaborators. They were all working towards a common goal. It wasn't just Brian doing all the work and the guys showing up to do their vocal takes. Everybody was writing, everybody was playing. These were incredible years for the band. This box set continues the trend of actually putting out, well, box sets, because before this was Feel Flows, which covered Sunflower and Surf's Up. Before that we had digital-only releases, but it did start with Sunshine Tomorrow, which was a 2-disc set in 2017, I believe that came out. So to have actual physical box sets of this amazing, incredible music really is something special, and none of us take it for granted. The fact that the Beach Boys team puts this much thought and effort into these things, because the fans really want these things, it's just a testament to the career that these guys had. You know, at this point, they've been a band for over 60 years. They've made a lot of music, and putting out box sets like this keeps that alive. It keeps the summer alive, as I always say. We're just trying to keep the summer alive. These box sets do that. I'll talk briefly about Carl and the Passions and Holland. I'm not going to do a full review of what the music is because we've done that already, and we all know these songs, but sound-wise, they really do sound fantastic. They've been remastered, not remixed. So they sound a little bit brighter, a little bit cleaner. The bass is a little bit more present. They do sound really, really wonderful, especially on vinyl. They sound great. The digital versions, of course, sound just as good if you ask me, but having these albums available brand new to go out to the store and buy, it's a wonderful treat because these albums have been out of print for 20 years. Ever since that 2 first CD came and went, having these things back on the shelf is fantastic because now people who could casually walk by the Beach Boys section will be like, oh, what's Sail On Sailor? I like that picture. I like that cover art. Wow, look at all these songs. I don't know a lot of these. I think I'll try it. That's really, really a cool move. So anyway, those 2 albums are easily some of the best things they've ever done in their career. They sound fantastic. I'm so happy to have them on this box set. Included, you know, this is the vinyl box set. Having new issues of them on vinyl is really, really cool. But what I want to talk about are the unreleased things and the live album. So let's do that. The Beach Boys live at Carnegie Hall, Thanksgiving 1972, is a fantastic document of this band proving themselves over and over again that they were the best in the business. Them focusing almost entirely on new material thanks to Jack Riley's prodding really shows to the audience that they weren't dinosaurs. They weren't going out there and doing Surf and Safari all night long. They were going out there and doing Leaving This Town, Only With You, You Need a Miss of Help to Stand Alone, Marcella. They were doing new tracks that were just as equally as exciting as their old stuff was. And the thing that I love the most about this concert in particular is hearing the stage banter. Because on the In Concert album from 1973, almost all of that's taken away, and the track listing is a little bit reshuffled. So hearing a concert in its entirety, all the way through, is a real treat. I love hearing Mike joke with the audience because, you know, we know Mike these days is the guy who will go out there and sing Barbara Ann till his head falls off. On this record, he's like, I know some of you guys came to hear Barbara Ann. We're not, basically saying, like, we're not going to do that one. We don't do those old songs anymore. And when they do bust out an old song, it's a victory lap. It's not catering to the masses. It's not like, oh, we should probably play this one. It's kind of like, we'll just bust out Don't Worry Baby or California Girls and let the crowd go wild. Like, we know we got those in our pocket. Can you imagine being in a band that can just casually be like, let's just play California Girls and see if they like it. Like, what an amazing testament to the creativity of these guys, that they were going to go out there, they were going to play so many new songs to an audience that maybe didn't buy those new albums, or were buying those new albums because they were doing really well at that point. Surf's Up did really, really well for themselves. Carl and the Passions, not so much chart-wise, but people were buying it. And then when Holland would come out, that would do really well for itself as well. But so for an audience in 1972, hearing this music, maybe for the first time, or having bought the record and wanted to hear all these new tracks, who were like really, you know, hoisting the flag for modern Beach Boys, This must have been an event. It must have been absolutely incredible. And what's really cool is a moment before they play Long Promised Road where Mike's like, hey, we're going to play a song now from the Surf's Up album. And the crowd has a really heartwarming cheer for it. And like that must have been such a rewarding feeling for these guys. Because when Carl starts singing, the audience applauds more and more for it. That must have been such a wow, like we're doing it, guys. Like we're playing new stuff people actually want to hear it. It must have been mind-blowing. What's great about this live record too is that they add on a lot of things that weren't on the In Concert album just because of space. 3 record live sets back in the day weren't very common. But this particular version of Don't Worry Baby, I'm not sure why they didn't use this for the In Concert album. This version of Don't Worry Baby is absolutely incredible. Al sings it so pleasantly and so beautifully. It's amazing. And hearing them do Only With You and having Dennis come out at the end, do that tag at the end, perfection. That should have been on the In Concert album as well. Hearing the calmness and the command in their performances, the command of that stage, when the crowd gets quiet and they can focus on the quieter songs, when Carl sings Wonderful, the way he just articulates so gently and everyone's hanging on to his every word. When Blondie sings Leaving This Town, you can hear the audience, like the grip that they have on the audience, be like, wow. You can tell that they're enraptured by how beautiful these performances are. They really took these new songs and they knew they had something good and they knew that people were going to dig it when they heard it. Unbelievable performances. As far as all the bonus tracks go, there is a lot to choose from on here. I love the radio promos. The whole whoa, how did my hair get so long? Where did this beard come from? Is that a new Beach Boys for the Carl and the Passions set? It's really cool. It's fun to hear. It's fun to contextualize things like that. Just imagine cranking down the road, the radio's on, and you hear this commercial, and it's instantly going to catch your ear. Be like, oh, a new Beach Boys. Wow, cool, all right. Acapella versions of things I never thought I'd hear. Acapella versions of, like You Need a Mess to Help It Stand Alone, is fantastic. Hearing that gruff vocal in the background of the ad-libs of them kind of goofing around, so cool. Obviously, All This Is That, one of the most gorgeous things I've ever heard in my entire life. The songwriting session for Sail On Sailor is magic. Hearing Brian sitting there at the piano kind of figuring out the words as he's going along. As a songwriter myself, hearing the process is incredible because you hear a song become a song. Hearing him go through the motions of figuring out what chord's going to come next, or, oh, maybe this line might sound good, or maybe this line might sound good. It's really, really cool to hear that process. I wish there was more things like that. And then you get completed songs like Oh Sweet Something, which is just that is such a fun song. And a lot of people have kind of compared that to a John Lennon solo song. And I can definitely see that fitting somewhere on Plastic Ono Band or Imagine with no problem. Hard Time, a Blondie rocker for the ages. I mean, that little riff, so cool. And then it goes right into this groove rock. I mean, if anything, that should have been a B-side. I mean, Carry Me Home, again, one of the most gorgeous songs they ever did. It's just this beautiful track. A lot of people say it's about Vietnam War veterans trying to get home. I can definitely see that. A lot of people see it as just a soul-searching kind of track. We Got Love, the lost single that should have been. I mean, if that song if they let that sit in the oven for a little bit longer, man, that could have been a massive hit for them. And then you get some random stuff from Brian, like Rooftop Harry and Spark in the Dark and Grease Job, really fun instrumentals. Just trying to figure out where they were going to go next with these songs is always really cool. But it's nice to have that Brian element on here because you definitely know, oh, that's definitely a Brian track. The composition, the construction, very much his touch. The alternate takes of Make It Good and Cuddle Up. I mean, Denny, come on, man. You're killing us here. The random live tracks over the years, they do The Traitor in 1975. That must have been the last time they ever played that song. Actually, I take that back. I think they played it in 78 one time. But regardless, it was at the end of its life. 1975, Sail On Sailor with Billy Hinchy. Unreal. Billy was fantastic at singing that song. 1993, All This Is That. Really, really cool to hear that. That must have been a trip for them to visit that song again. But then you get the backing tracks for some of this stuff. The backing tracks for Steamboat, that song is freaking magic, man. I mean, that's chill wave all the way. It's such a groove. And the backing tracks for The Traitor, when they do those layered background harmony vocals, that could be a song unto itself. And they buried that underneath the lead vocal. The amount of talent and effort they put into these songs is incredible. Also hearing the fairy tale broken up into sections, hearing the vocal parts on their own, or the music on its own, is really, really special because you can hear the time and dedication they put to making that sound just as fun and just as special. What an awesome box set. So obviously the box set that I have here for right now is the vinyl box set version. This was sent to me by the Beach Boys. Thank you, Beach Boys and Team Beach Boys. It's marked with a promotional sticker. What's it say? Promotional use only, not for sale. And I'll show you what the records look like in the book. Carl and the Passions. European style, so there's no pet sounds. So you get the cool European back cover, which I really, really dig. Holland, which does come with the bonus 45. Pull that out for you here. I've always loved this back cover. One of the coolest back covers they ever did. And then the live record. Carnegie Hall 1, 2, and 3. And the book. The book is fantastic. It is loaded with just excellent pictures, lots of great liner notes. Something I really wish they would have done was recreate this poster as a fold-out poster to put inside the box. Like, that would have been a really, really cool addition. But just wonderful pictures of like the tape boxes, the guys hanging out. I've showed this a couple of times already, but I mean, that's just a killer shot of everybody on stage. You got the captain over there rocking the keyboards. I mean, this is just so cool. Oh, what else can I show you? Just a really nice Holland review there. Excellent packaging on this thing. Really well done. So yeah, I mean, this thing is absolutely wonderful. It's an essential part of any Beach Boys collection. And what's great about it too is that it came out so soon after being announced. Like with Feel Flows, it got announced and then got held back and held back and held back, and we never thought it was going to actually come out. With this thing, we knew it was going to come out in the summer of 2021. We knew they were working on it already. So the fact that it already is in our hands is very special unto itself. But documenting this period of the Beach Boys' career is really important because this era of the Beach Boys kind of was the beginning of the end for what would change over the next couple of years. The guys were so creative. The guys were, there was an enthusiasm, a spark, a camaraderie, a fight, a determination, a hunger. I can go on with words like that. They were so proud to prove themselves with these amazing new songs, paving the way for like other bands to hear them and be like, wow, I'm inspired by this stuff too. Not just the stuff I heard on Pet Sounds. Like, I'm really inspired by Holland now. They were ahead of the curve and would be so for the next couple of years, you know, and then Endless Summer came out and definitely changed their course a little bit. But Endless Summer is definitely a blessing and a burden. Endless Summer kept them in a job. Endless Summer made sure they had a paycheck coming in. Endless Summer meant they can continue touring as the Beach Boys and play a lot of these songs live, which they would continue to do for the next 5 or 6 years. They'd bust out some of these songs. So I know for a lot of people, Endless Summer is like a death knell because after that you got 15 Big Ones, which is not the greatest thing they ever did. But it's also, Endless Summer is one of the best things that could have ever happened to the Beach Boys because it kept them alive. So I see both sides of this thing. Their popularity went through the roof because of Endless Summer, and we get to have them still as a band because of that album. So that album will always be very special to me. But this era is equally as special to me as well because the creativity, the artistic triumphs, the spirit. You know, like I've said in multiple things on social media so far, this isn't just a box of great music, it's a mission statement. They weren't going to let anything slow them down. Long Promised Road is a great mission statement name. All This Is That is also a great mission statement name. Nothing was going to hold them down, and they were going to prove themselves over and over and over again because they were the Beach Boys. They are the Beach Boys. Sail on Sailor, man. So it's no surprise, 10 out of 10 for me. I will be getting the CD box set as well, but for now having this vinyl box set is just so rad. I mean, this thing sounds great, it looks great. Highly recommend picking this thing up if you found a copy. It's definitely worth it. So very curious to hear your thoughts on this thing. I'm so happy it's here. I'm going to be playing this like crazy for the next ever, forever. And I'll be making a lot more videos about it because of that. So there's a lot of good topics to come out of this box set. But let me know your thoughts. Very curious to hear what you guys say about it. I love this thing, and I'm sure you guys do too. So to Team Beach Boys, thank you so much again for sending me this box set. It has a great home here. It's got a forever home for sure. I love these albums, and I always will. Thanks for watching. My name is Giggens. This has been the Beach Boys, Sail On Sailor, 1972. Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. We'll get chatting about it. Sail on.